Hi there, today we are going to be looking at if statements and looking at how they can be used, and then finally we're going to look at a little bit more in embedded if statements later on. So an if statement is a way of comparing two values, and with using an if statement it looks for a piece of maths and then what to display to the user, whether that is true or false. So for example, if something is higher than a certain number, or if it's equal to a certain piece of text, something will happen as a result of it being true, and if it isn't true then it's going to be false and something happens as a result of that. So for example, if we have a look at B2, if we say B2 is greater than 6, then we say you have passed. If it's false, you have failed. So you can see here that there's three sections of the if statement to make it all completely together. We've got this first part here, which is your logical test. So it's looking at a piece of maths, and it can be looking at less than, greater than, equal to, less than, greater, equal to, not equal to, anything that you want. It can be looking at numbers, it can be looking at pieces of text. If the value is true, then this message will be displayed, and if the value is false, then this message will be displayed. And you can see here that it's giving you the syntax of it, the layout of it, just here. If you're using text, you've got to make sure you're putting the text into quotation marks, otherwise Excel will have a hissy fit. If you're displaying numbers, then you can just type in the raw numbers, you don't have to worry about the quotation marks. And remember also to have the commas for each section to separate it up. Excel shows you this and is rather quite handy in that case. So if we press enter, we can see here that Simon has passed, and then we can drag it down, and then unfortunately Theodore has failed and Harry has failed, but Bocker has also passed. So if we have a look at this syntax here and make sure we fully understand what's going on. Remember, all formulas start with equals if. Always, 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 always an if statement equals if. We then have open brackets, and then we have our logical test. So in this case, we're looking at B3, and we're saying if it's greater than 6, you have passed. If not, you have failed. You'll notice that as it's going down, that the if statement's going down, it's always going to be looking at this 6 here, but the cell is always changing as well. Thank you Excel for helping us out with that one. So we have got equals if to start the if statement. We have then got our logical test. So remember, that could be, doesn't have to be greater than, doesn't have to be just looking at a number. We could have had equals if brackets A2 equals Simon, your name is Simon. And then otherwise, if it was false, your name is not Simon. And that would look a little bit like this. Equals if A2 equals Simon. If its value is true, then we can say your name is Simon. If it is false, your name is not Simon. And again, we can drag this down, so we can see here that it's three people aren't called Simon. But what we can do, what if statements do, is update things automatically. So if we rename Theodore to Simon, you can see this if statement here has changed, and then if we give him a mark of 15, he's now passed. I hope this video has helped.